AM 1460, the new at WXBR. You were listening to the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM. Peter Zimbor here with you on this Monday morning. Joining me right now via the telephone is a workout guru. She's the author of Body by Simone, the 8-week total body makeover plan, a way for you to shape up your body in a matter of 2 months. And hey, we're 2 months away from summer really kicking in. You want to look good at the beach, particularly the ladies. We welcome into the program Miss Simone De La Rue. Simone, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
That is one sexy name, Simone De La Rue, which I guess is apropos because you were in the business of making sexy people.
Thank you. You know, people always say, is that your stage name? And I say, it's actually my name, which is crazy.
Well, just a moment ago, I mentioned that this is a book primarily for women to get their body fit within 8 weeks. It is strictly for the girls, right? Not the guys, right?
This book is targeted towards women, definitely, but I do have male clients, and we do have men in our studio in New York and Los Angeles.
So how do you transform your body within 8 weeks to be ready for the beach? Because right now, it's April. 2 months from now will be June. That's when beach season really kicks in. Girls want to look good in their bikinis with a flat stomach and the nice butts. What do they got to do? Step one.
Well, step one is like set realistic goals. I always say that to people, like don't expect to lose 10 pounds in a week. So it's, 8 weeks is a nice, decent amount of time where you can make lifestyle changes rather than, a quick fix. So it's very important that, it is 80% diet, 20% exercise. You've got to make sure that you're eating well as working out.
So this is a book that's not only about working out and getting fit, but you mentioned lifestyle changes. You have to diet. How difficult is that for normal people, say, during the summertime? A lot of people want to go out and have some drinks. Cookouts are in abundance in the summertime. People want to eat hamburgers and hot dogs. Mm-hmm. How do you tell people to stay away from the bad stuff, stick with the good stuff? What do you tell them?
Yeah, well, I don't believe in diets, and I don't believe in weighing yourself or counting calories because that just... you end up becoming obsessed and then you end up binge eating and breaking the diet, or as soon as you finish the diet, you end up going back to your old habits. So it's basically, as I said, about making lifestyle choices and correct choices with food. If you're going to have the burger, don't have the bun. Just, the burger is great protein, so have the burger without the bun. Limit your alcohol to one night a week rather than every single night. But in my book, I offer a detox, which is basically a cleanse. And the idea is, we're eating so much processed food these days, like everything, when you go to the supermarket, everything's processed, or if it's in a tin or a package, and we don't even know half the names of the, on the labels of half the ingredients. So I say that you've got to eat real foods and whole foods. But a cleanse, this cleanse detoxifies the system. It cleans out your gut especially. So in the process of eliminating caffeine, sugar, alcohol, gluten, you actually cleanse your system and you have, long nails, beautiful long hair, shiny skin, shiny eyes, and in the process, you lose a bit of weight as well. So it's just about trying to make the choices for your health. I always say that our body is like a machine, and you need to fuel it. It's like a car. If you don't put gas in it, it's not going to run. So it's like learning to fuel your body also for the amount of exercise that you want to do.
What comes first, picking up a routine in terms of working out and accruing some physical fitness that way, or the lifestyle change in relation to what you eat?
I mean, it's great if you can do everything at the same time. That's when you're going to see change, when you kind of shock the body. But also, as I said, it's about setting realistic goals. And I think by keeping a food journal and keeping an exercise journal, it keeps you accountable. So you're always going to have to check back, see how you did that day. One day you're going to be, extra lethargic, or you may have, eaten a few too many cookies, or so you actually can go back and see in your journal, or see how much you think, I did an amazing workout today. But when you actually time it, perhaps you only did 5 minutes. So that's a great way to kind of stay on track. But change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And it's important to set realistic goals.
Is everything okay in the Simone De La Rue household right now?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I have a little Maltese dog, and I think the neighbors must have interrupted. I apologize.
All right, you don't need to apologize. We just to make sure that dog's okay, because we just heard nothing but screaming in the background, and we did not know. We thought maybe one of your clients had had a bad experience or something like that.
No, never.
Okay. Once again, we're chatting with Simone De La Rue here on AM 1460, the new WXBR, author of Body by Simone, the 8-week total body makeover plan. You split your time, if I'm not mistaken, between New York and Los Angeles, and you work with some Hollywood types in relation to personal training and physical fitness, Anne Hathaway and Naomi Watts amongst them. What are some things in particular that you do with these actresses and these Hollywood types that come to you who need to stay in shape for roles and whatnot?
I mean, I don't treat actors or celebrities any differently to I would any client who's working towards a goal. It's just, in their case, they happen to get paid to look like that. So, often we've got 8 weeks or 3 months to really focus on a certain look that they need for that role, or a certain strength that they need to be, in wires or something like that. So, but at the end of the day, they sweat the same, and they're still going to have the same program. I'm still going to push them just as much as I do any other client.
Do you see that actresses and Hollywood types do tend to stray from their diets and their workout routines in between roles, or do they try to maintain their level of physical fitness throughout the duration of the year, or does it really vary from case by case?
It varies from case by case. I mean, there's something about creative types that are very much all or nothing. So when you've got a job or something that you're focused on, you're all in it. And then, of course, once that role is over, you let go and you can let yourself go a little bit. But then I have other clients who are extremely dedicated and disciplined, and they maintain throughout the year.
Do you maintain physical fitness throughout the year, or did you really have to get in shape for the cover of this book? Because your body is rocking here. Is this normal, Simone De La Rue, or because you knew you were doing the photo of the book, did you really kind of push it the extra week or two?
I mean, the way I work with clients is I work out alongside them. And so I end up doing, depending, 3 to 5 hours of exercise a day. So I would hope that I looked like that, considering the amount of exercise that I do. But obviously, the cover for the book was important to me, so I did, cut back on some of my on my chocolate chip cookies the week leading up until the shoot.
Now, what is your background in terms of physical fitness and becoming a personal trainer? Because I understand that you were a professional dancer for quite a bit of time before you started taking on clients of your own as a personal trainer, correct?
Yes, I trained in classical ballet, and I started at the age of 3, and I worked professionally, in London's West End, on Broadway, and also throughout Australia and Europe. And I kind of fell into fitness by accident when an actress needed to look like a dancer for a film. And, just kind of those two things go hand in hand. It's kind of a rite of passage for dancers to move into some form of fitness because they're so used to using their body as their tool. But for me, I never imagined that I would, necessarily be a trainer. But it was just as simple as someone asked me, well, how do I get a dancer's body? And I said, well, you dance. That's why my technique is dance-based. It doesn't use a lot of equipment. It's using your own body weight. So it's based on dance from all my experience.
Coming from a ballet background, do you think that the ballet lifestyle is a healthy lifestyle? Because every now and then you hear these horror stories of these ballet girls, these ballerinas, who, suffer from eating disorders and they're always standing on their toes. Is that a healthy lifestyle, or is that just sort of stereotype that has overshadowed that particular art form because certain people have had issues over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it is somewhat of an unhealthy lifestyle. You are examined pretty much when you're in a ballet company or in a ballet school every day and weighed, which, is not good for any young woman's mental health, I don't think, to be standing on scales. And, obviously when puberty hits, you can't change your body. So, there are a lot of eating disorders and a lot of injuries that come from that. So it is unhealthy, but then it also comes down to the person. I managed to come out unscathed from my experience, but I always had a mother that made sure that I ate properly. So I think it comes with circumstance and also the person. But it definitely classical ballet particularly, because you need to be so tiny for men to be able to lift you up above their heads. And obviously it looks far more ladylike with long lean muscles. So it can be a little destructive for some women's mental health, definitely.
You mentioned that the classical ballet lifestyle can be unhealthy, and you also mentioned that it could be unhealthy from a mental standpoint for young women, but you started as young as 3 years old. Do you recommend that 3-year-olds get started in ballet, or do you think that's too young in retrospect? I mean, I know you came out okay, but, the grand picture.
Yeah, it's funny because people say, well, you were so young, how, did your mum force you to do this? And I actually have a memory of begging her to take me. So it was always something that I wanted to do. It was never forced upon me. In fact, sometimes she was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? This is a lot of work." So I was very disciplined and driven. I like the way I turned out. I think it's a personal thing. I think it's a wonderful discipline for young women to learn correct posture, to learn rhythm, to learn self-awareness, to be able to look in the mirror and see what they love. But there's always a healthy and unhealthy way of doing things. So you have to have good people around you to guide you in the healthy way.
We want to mention to any of the ladies listening out there that want to get in shape within the next 2 months for the beach season, Body by Simone is the book, the 8-week total body makeover plan, written by our guest, Simone De La Rue. Miss Simone De La Rue, any final words for our listeners this morning before we let you go?
No, I just, my message is basically to find a fun, joyous way of exercising. I think, as a nation now, we're becoming so sedentary. Even as children, no one's going out and playing sports anymore. We're all sitting at home on our computers, on our iPhones, on our iPads, and, go to the gym and just run on a treadmill for 10 minutes and think that that's a workout. So it's finding a joyous way of working out. Get your ass off the couch and the adrenaline and the endorphins that kick in are wonderful, and it keeps you nice and healthy, and it's a social thing to do as well. So I would just say find whatever resonates with you and make fitness and wellness part of your everyday.
Make fitness and wellness part of your everyday life and get your ass off the couch. Those are the words of Simone De La Rue here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. It's bodybysimone.com if you want more information. Simone, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We're going to step aside for a quick break. Mike Pava is going to bring us a local news update. Stick with us here in the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM.